gonna be in trouble. What's up guys, it is Alex from Maximum Charge. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today we are on a long anticipated e-bike that I'm on, electric dirt bike, the Altis Sigma. I'm trying to transform myself into a Sigma male, and the only logical step was to buy this bike. And we are currently on eco mode. We're gonna do an eco mode ride for the entire video. Just kidding. This is my first time riding this bike. And fun fact, I am actually very inexperienced with electric motorcycles, these electric dirt bikes. I've ridden a few at the Electrify Expo, and a buddy of mine did also used to have the Raw Mantis, the 60 volt version. I rode that around for a bit, but this is my first one that I've actually purchased, and right now this is one of the fastest ones you can buy out of the box. This thing allegedly goes 70 miles an hour. And yeah, I'm kind of jumping into the e-moto space with both feet all in. I'm going all in, guys, to one of the most high-powered e-motos out there. So we'll see how it goes. And I'm gonna be talking from the perspective of someone who has ridden a bunch of e-bikes. So I'm coming from the e-bike world where things have pedals, and they, for the most part, top out at between 30 to 40 miles an hour. Some go slightly faster. My fastest e-bike that I have, I just finished building. It's a modified Goat Power Bikes Motor Goat. At full charge, it'll give me about 7,200 watts. And this e-moto is more than triple that amount. I can't get enough power, so I decided, you know what, let me just buy something that damn near scares me to ride at full speed. We won't be going on a full speed ride today because this is just the first initial break-in ride. I just want to test this bike out. The steering feels heavy, much heavier than an e-bike. And by the way, this thing is planted. It's heavy. The whole thing is heavy. It's 200 pounds, but it feels very planted. Normal mode on this bike is already faster than almost every other e-bike out there. E-bike with pedals, I mean. Faster accelerating than a stock Goat, faster accelerating than dual motor bikes. Normal mode is already fast. Man, we get up to speed so quick, it's unreal. I could ride around on normal mode and just enjoy myself, honestly. Normal mode feels just fine. The goal of today's ride is just to get acquainted with this bike a bit more. I did unlock race mode. Fun fact, I actually took this bike out earlier for initial impressions ride, and here's kind of how it went. What? What the? What? Oh man, I got the tingles in my feet. Ah! Woo-wee! What? Oh my God! Woo-wee! I am gonna be in trouble with this thing. Oh, and that was in sport mode. So needless to say, this thing is scary fast. I wasn't even in race mode, and even sport mode scared the hell out of me. So it's gonna take some getting used to this bike. We made a couple adjustments in the setting to make it easier on me because I am coming from the e-bike space. I'm crossing over, dabbling in electric motorcycles now, and I'd like to get slowly acquainted with their power. We're gonna pull over for a quick second, show you what I did with this bike. So here we are. Here is the Altis Sigma. As you could tell, I removed almost all of the plastics. I did put the number plate on just because there's a bunch of wires back there that I wanted to cover, but I like this undercover stealth look. Take off all the plastics. I know a lot of you guys like the aesthetics of the plastics, and I do think they look kind of cool, but I wanted a low-key look on this bike, and I think without the plastics we've more or less achieved that. But before we continue riding, let me tell you the main reason I got this bike coming from the e-bike space. So I'm a guy that likes speed. I like speed and power in my e-bikes, and slowly but surely I've been riding faster and faster e-bikes over the past 2 years. And during that time of testing out a bunch of different e-bikes, I decided I want to build something that's insanely fast. I wanted it to go 60 miles an hour. I wanted it to be a mid-drive. I wanted it to have a strong frame, motorcycle brakes. I wanted it to be small. I wanted it to be dual suspension, at least 10,000 watts of power. I wanted a removable battery. And I thought to myself, you know what? What I'm describing is the Altis Sigma. Except I don't have to put any work into building it. Which if you guys do build bikes, especially high-powered custom ones like that, you'll know it is a ton of work. So I just bought this. 70 miles an hour, 22 kilowatt peak, as long as the battery is having a good day. It's at a near full charge and the perfect temperature. You will get that 22 kilowatts of power. It has the removable battery. It has everything I wanted, so I went ahead and just bought this. So today's video is going to be from the perspective of someone who's coming from riding normal e-bikes. And without further ado, let's jump back on the Altis Sigma and keep riding. So on the settings, I did adjust the gear ratio to 8.3. Pat over at Retrowave, shout out to Retrowave where I got this bike from. Link in the description below if you want to help support this channel, buy your bikes or anything else you want from there. He was testing out the settings and he set his gear ratio to 8.3, which allegedly will give you an accurate speedometer reading. So we're going to test that out now. We're on eco mode and we got our GPS speedometer out. So here's low speed. What do you think, guys? That looks good. I like that. If we switch it to normal mode looks good too. We're about 40 miles an hour. Look at that. I think we're good. Normal mode looks great also. So thank you, Pat from Retrowave, for helping us out. Gear ratio 8.3 seems to make the speedometer right on the money. And by the way, I also switched the acceleration in this bike to weak mode for now. It is nowhere near weak, don't worry. But I just want to get used to this bike. I don't want to loop it. I don't want to wheelie it just yet. On my earlier ride, it was on medium acceleration, and in sport mode it was very torquey. Even after 20 miles an hour it was still trying to wheelie. It had so much torque, so turn the acceleration down for now just to get used to this bike. So the top speed of eco mode was 20, top speed of normal mode was 40, and normal mode, by the way, feels just fine. If you're used to e-bikes, you will be right at home with normal mode. In fact, you will love it because it has so much power. Let's do our long hill climb test from normal mode. This is a test I do on all my e-bikes, and we'll see how normal mode does. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, so we easily top out at 40 miles an hour, no problems. On normal mode. Normal mode seems to be great for just putting around town, just cruising around, not doing anything too crazy. The throttle feels really nice. It's very easy to control how much power you get. But even in normal mode, the acceleration feels very nice. Suspension is super plush, especially coming from the e-bike space. This bike just floats over everything, any kind of bump. It's got the high travel off-road suspension, can handle a lot of different jumps. See that? Stopping at the stop sign. Take that, commenters. We're gonna do a fun little test right now. This is a steep hill climb test that I do on all my e-bikes. What I do is I stop at the line and accelerate. Here we go. And this is the reason I went with this bike. Even in normal mode, we can absolutely destroy anything. And guys, there's 2 modes above normal mode. There's sport mode and race mode. I don't think we're gonna touch race mode today. I've messed around with sport mode and it's insane. I've test rode the E-Ride Pro SS, the 2.0 over at the Electrify Expo. Sport mode in this bike feels like the highest mode in that bike. It's crazy. It pulls you so hard. And to think that there's a mode even higher than that, ludicrous. I don't even know what to say. By the way, I am on a new microphone and helmet cam setup. Let me know how it sounds and how it looks. Trying to reinvest into the channel by buying things like that and this bike right here. Even in the weakest acceleration mode, I do feel the wheel want to pop up just a tiny bit, even in normal mode, like the suspension decompresses. Yeah, the front wheel went up just a tiny bit. We can get to 40 so quick. Oh, so the back wheel locked up. I do know that these brakes, they're not the best for on-road performance. So I will be switching them out eventually. Just have to be careful for now. Sport mode. Look at that. The front wheel just comes up like it's nothing. You really got to be careful. We're going to bring it back down to normal mode. That is wild. So in a video I made where I was just riding around on an e-bike talking about this bike, why I bought it, something I said in that video is I want to get a bike with enough power to scare me, and this thing is scary. It's gonna take me some time getting used to this, not gonna lie. This is a whole lot of power and a whole lot of torque. This is a very serious machine. The weight, the power, the performance is on a whole other level. If you're coming from e-bikes, this thing will be faster than everything. This bike has 3 times the power of my fastest e-bike, which is the 100 amp Motor Goat with, I think it peaks at 7,200 watts at full charge. This bike has 3 times the amount of power, peaking at 22 kilowatts. Absolutely crazy. So it's gonna take me some time to get used to this bike. Sport mode. Wow. We almost hit 60 like it was nothing. Eventually I would try and go faster than that just to see what the top speed is. Unfortunately in my town I don't really have any appropriate roads to even test the top speed of this bike. So I'll have to figure something else out. You guys can rely on some other YouTubers to see the accurate top speed. Right now I've seen top speeds of around 70 miles an hour on this bike. I'm not sure what the range is gonna be on this bike. Allegedly, range-wise, you'll get maybe like 40 to 50 miles out of this bike. Less if you are really hammering down on the speed and throttle. So that's it for this video, guys. Just wanted to make a quick one from the perspective of an e-biker. Someone who's coming from the e-bike space. If you guys do want to buy one of these, check out the link in the description below. It's going to lead you to Rev Rides. They are a great company to work with. That's where I purchased this bike from. And if you do use that link to buy anything from their website, it will help support this channel. I'm probably going to be buying more stuff for this bike, so it will be funding the modifications of this e-bike. I've earned your subscription. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to see more videos on this, stay tuned. Follow me on social media. I am on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and I have 2 Facebook groups, e-bike addicts and high-speed e-bikes, 40 miles an hour and up. And I will be making posts about this bike over there as well. That's it for today, folks. Until next time.